a town's own little, in Middleborough, you would be voting on a 1% surcharge on local property tax bills. The first $100,000 of your assessed property value would be exempt, and low income and low and moderate income senior households would be exempt from the surcharge. So what does that mean for a Middleborough resident? The average homeowner would pay an additional $23 for the year that would go into the local CPA fund. The next slide has a lot of math on it, so I'm just giving you the heads up if you don't like math. But I'll walk through how the $23, how I came up with that. So the median value, home value in Middleborough in 2010 was $294,751. You take away the first $100,000 of assessed value. Then your CPA surcharge is based on $194,751. Then you consider what the tax bill would be based on that. This is just for the CPA, which would be with 11.83% per 1,000. It'd be $2,303. So that would mean a $23 surcharge. That's for the average or for the median household in Middleborough. So about half the residents in Middleborough would pay more and about half would pay less. So what does that $23 mean for the town of Middleborough if you chose to adopt it? This would generate approximately $210,619 each year to be spent in a way that Middleborough would decide on how it's spent. So part of the Community Preservation Act requires that 10% of the funds be spent on open space preservation, 10% be spent on historic preservation, 10% on preserving or creating community housing, and then the rest can be divided among those three areas or an additional area of outdoor public recreation. So that would mean each year $21,000 would be set aside for open space, $21,000 for historic preservation, and $21,000 for community housing. And I want to make these funds don't have to be spent each year. If a housing project or if an open space project doesn't come up that the town supports, or even there may, the one may not even be submitted. So the town just continues to hold on to their funds, they have to keep close track of what's the open space, historic preservation, community housing, and what their general kitty consists of that year, or you can reserve it for future years. Also, these dollars here don't include the state match. So remember how I said that the funds are generated from two sources. One is the local surcharge, and then one is through fees, through the state match, through fees collected at the Registry of Deeds. This year, the state match would, if Middleborough had already had the CPA, then on top of these dollars, another $56,867 would be added to that. I'll also say that on the state match, has anybody heard that the state match keeps going down, so why should we pass it? So one thing to know about that is that when the first few years when the Community Preservation Act was passed, the towns that got in early, they saw this as a great opportunity. They actually got 100% match. I think it was the first maybe 4 or 5 years, they got 100% match. So in this case, they would have gotten, another $210,000. The match has gone down for two reasons. One, because more communities are adopting the CPA. So instead of that state trust fund being divided by 30, then by, originally 30 or 40. Now it's divided by 143. Also, those funds come from fees collected at the Registry of Deeds, and there's fewer transactions happening at the Registry of Deeds. So you've got less money and more towns. So it winds up in a smaller match. But the match this year was 27%, which, as far as I know, that's the best return on your dollar that you're going to get anywhere. So keep that in mind. So whereas it's not 100% anymore, 27% is still pretty good. So